Welcome back. It's still the Breakfast Show. He is the first African named by the Fortnight Journal as one of the promising leaders of the Millennium Generation. He also has a number of honors to his name, including the Thomas Hobbes Prize at Harvard University and Reverend Peter Gomes Prize, also at Harvard, for citizenship and leadership, and also was featured in the Times magazine in 2005 as one of the 25 global future leaders. Now, I would interest you to know that he is also the founder of the African Development Initiative and CEO of Golden Palm Investments. I'm talking about Sangu Delle. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
How do you feel about these achievements, really?
I guess first I give thanks to God, because without God nothing would be possible. And next, I think it's really a testament to my mother, who since I was a kid imbibed me with work ethic and with the pursuit of excellence, which I have tried to emulate throughout my life.
So when you got the news that Fortnight Journal had named you, how did you feel about that?
I was very much humbled.
Okay.
I was very much humbled, and I prayed about it.
You're very religious.
I am so, because I've always believed that in everything we do, it is through God. And it's God that touches us and allows us to have impacts on others. And I've always, throughout my life, every time I've been put in positions of relative privilege, I've prayed that God would use me as a vessel to be able to do his work and impact on people. Okay. So I can never take credit, because the credit goes to God.
Goes to God. Okay, wonderful. It tells me you're a religious person, yes, but who is Sangu Delle, apart from all these we hear about you?
I think I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Okay. I am a problem solver, and I like to solve the problems in my community and in the world at large, whether it's issues of water and sanitation in Ejimante, or dry season farming in Akumdipe, or looking for the most interesting investment opportunities globally. I think I'm a problem solver, and I'm very curious, and I always have this burning intellectual curiosity in which I try to find the answers to problems plaguing our country and world. I also think I'm a community person at heart, where I love to give back to the community and make sure that...
So you go back to your village every now and then?
Well,
which part of the country do you come from?
So my father comes from Nandom in the Upper West region, but I always believe I'm a Ghanaian first. And so if you look at most of the development projects I've been a part of, they've been in places that I have no connection to. Ejimante, no one in my family is from there. Okay. Akumdipe, none of my family is from there in the northern region. And in Sawam, we're supporting a school there, and a couple of other projects. But I believe that I'm a Ghanaian first, and that we do not just need to apply aid to people we know or where we're from, but it needs to go to who needs it the most. And so that's the philosophy that has underlied all the development issues I've focused on.
So what would you say earned you the honor?
So first, I should probably thank Henry Louis Gates Jr., who was the esteemed Harvard professor who nominated me for the award. Okay. And it was the basis of it was being an ideal leader, and for the entrepreneurial efforts I had done under the guise of the African Development Initiative and Golden Palm Investments. And African Development Initiative, or ADI for short, is a 501c3 organization that I founded at Harvard in 2007. And we focus on sustainable development projects. So we basically attempt to empower communities to tackle on issues of development. We, interestingly enough, reject the charity aid model. We don't believe in throwing, because it's not sustainable. Okay. So I'll give you an example. When we went to Ejimante had a spring that was infested with E. coli. E. coli causes diarrhea. 1.8 million people die every year from diarrhea. It kills more children than malaria and AIDS combined. In Ghana alone, 44,000 children die every year from diarrhea. Yet, when we went there, a donor group had already been there. And they put in a solar-powered spring cleaning system. So you go there and you think, oh, they've done something good. But no, because the system broke down and they're gone. it did not make sense for the local community. No one in Ejimante had technical knowledge of solar-powered systems. And so when it broke down, they can't fix it. So what we did instead was to say, we need a demand-driven methodology. We need to engage with the community, sit down with the community, and say, people of Ejimante, how do you think we can resolve your problem? And work with them to develop solutions that will make sense locally and that would be sustainable. So what we ended up doing was, instead of going for advanced technologies that could not be fixed locally, we pared it down, we put in boreholes, tested the water, WHO standards. There was some iron ore, so we put in an iron ore filtration plant, taught the community how to fix it, how to maintain it.
That will take a lot of funding.
It will. It will. Understandably, it will. And we've spent to date over $50,000 in Ejimante.
And how do you manage the funding?
So the funding, we have a fundraising machine at Harvard where we basically reach out to alumni, we reach out to people all over the world, and we occasionally host fundraising events to raise funds for this. And because we're a 501c3, most people who donate get tax exemptions.
Okay.
And in addition, we're also looking to gear up local fundraising efforts here. We just set up a chapter at Ashesi University. And because I believe that me just having this at Harvard alone, I mean, Harvard has a lot of things, and it's not, at the margin, the impact isn't going to be monumental versus having it here at home, developing local capacity, having students at Ashesi and other students engage in development projects whilst they're in school. So they already start getting used to the philosophy of giving back to their community, and they already get trained in how best to engage in sustainable development.
Okay, so apart from those other projects, what is ADI into?
So outside that, so you mentioned something interesting, which was that's expensive.
Yeah.
So the experiences in Ejimante when we taught us that people need economic empowerment. So we moved to Ekumdipe, which is in northern Ghana, and we engaged in rural irrigation, where we basically gave microloans to farmers, built an irrigation system, and allowed them for the first time ever in the history of the community to harvest onions for the first time during the dry season. And we partnered with Dr. Bauer at the University of Development Studies. We brought in technical experts. We trained them how to do dry season farming. And it's transformed the community. Now they can farm throughout the year. Their standards of living can increase. Their incomes can increase. And you've economically empowered them where they can then come together as a community and tackle on issues of collective concern.
Let's talk about Golden Palm Investments.
So Golden Palm Investments is an investment company I co-founded with my brother Bangu a few years ago. And the focus of that actually was inspired by our experiences again in Ejimante. I interviewed all the villagers and I asked them, if there was one single greatest thing I could do for the community, what would it be? And I was shocked by the answer. I thought they would say library, school, hospital. They said jobs. We want jobs. Yeah. So inspired by that, I had this philosophical evolution that the best way to aid my country and the best way to aid Africa is actually along the lines of what Thomas Friedman said, which is Africa needs less foundations and more entrepreneurs. People grow out of poverty when we create small businesses that employ their neighbors. Nothing else lasts. And so Golden Palm, or GPI for short, focuses on venture capital and small and medium enterprises. We focus on agribusiness, on healthcare, on media and technology, real estate and financial services. And we basically try to focus on early stage growth capital to support these businesses that will promote economic development and that will focus on job creation.
Okay, on the heels of that bit about entrepreneurship and economic empowerment, what would you say to young entrepreneurs in Ghana who would want to go into it but are thinking about money? They don't have money to start up a business.
It's great that you did mention that. And I think when I first started GPI, we started with $100. I've always believed that what will win in this world is not financial capital, it's human capital. It's the ideas. The ideas is what's going to end up being the winners in this world. And in our information age today with technology, you can now start a business online where all you need is a website to host it. And so the key, I think, is not really so much financial capital, given what we have today, but so much having young people have the conducive environment to be able to be supported. And so, in fact, I'm working on a book now on entrepreneurship, where I want to profile 10 entrepreneurs in Ghana, young entrepreneurs, who can inspire the youth and people at the university and
I
in
think
schools.
it needs to go beyond the book thing. Maybe more seminars. And
Absolutely.
the young people need to get empowered. They need
Absolutely.
to know what to do. That's the thing.
We need mentorship. We really need mentorship. I would never be anywhere I am today if it wasn't for the people ahead of me who were kind enough to mentor me. We need mentorship. We need incubator systems. And we need to set up incubator systems where successful people can take in some young, promising mentors and can mentor them and can help them launch and start businesses.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of young people are watching this morning and they're already inspired. Leave them with a message.
The message I'll leave young people with are just 3 key things. One, I always go back to trust in God, because I don't believe you can do anything without God. And so focus on God and pray. The second thing is hard work. I always get inspired when I look at some of the successful athletes. They talk about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. They practice about 1,000 free throws every day. It's not, excellence is not an act, but a habit. You do best what you do most. And so I'm going to push people to work hard every single day. I work hard every day, and I'll push people to work hard every day. And the third thing is the power of dreams. I've always believed that once you allow your imagination to soar and you really dream big, you'll accomplish things. Dream is the X on the map, and hard work is the fuel to get there.
He says dream is the X on the map, and what?
Hard work is the fuel to get there.
And I was talking to Sangu Delle here. He's the first African named by Fortnight Journal as one of the promising leaders of the millennium generation. Thank you so much for joining us on GTV.
Thank you for having me.
It's still the breakfast show. We have more coming up. Henry is standing by with the sports. Don't go away.